Good morning, happy Saturday. I'm gonna keep this one a little bit shorter, but I wanted to take a time to check in with myself because this is definitely a big time of trial and error with seeing, what works for me in my healing journey. So today's focus is definitely, coming back home to myself and bringing a deeper focus there after, you know, focusing on some other things. And so, no new news, but my, nervous system is shit. I'm still getting caught up in perceiving things in not a realistic way. The triggers are definitely still there. And I am noticing, when this trigger happens, it's like this veil falls over my eyes and my mind. And, next thing I know, I'm like acting and behaving and perceiving from a place that mirrors, a lot of the relationship dynamics and dysfunction in my family's home growing up, and or I can tell my brain is still wanting to attach to these cycles of perceiving from other relationships in my past. And so it's been difficult. I'm absolutely blessed with a partner who has the patience of God, the patience and gentleness and understanding of God, to work, with me on all of these things, because certainly there's those days, many of those days and those moments where I don't want to work with me, I don't want to live with me, I don't want to associate with me. And we have to work on that and keep accepting ourselves on those deeper layers, with more love and grace. Otherwise, where's it gonna get us? No, nowhere good. Nowhere good. And so one idea that I'm gonna challenge myself with moving forward here is the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. I've been thinking of that, because certainly I am very capable and highly accomplished when it comes to the art of overthinking or creating things within the mind, which it's it's a very similar energy that's used when I'm reading for others and sifting through the layers of energy. And it can feel so easy to be scattered through all that. It takes a lot from you. But yes, so keep it simple, stupid. I don't particularly like the first part, but we could still, call it KISS. Keep it simple. And so, in my head, like, I don't know, I'm aware of myself throughout the day. I'm looking at the things of like, where can I do better? Or it's like, wow, there's all these things that I am not being mindful of that I need to be mindful of. And how on earth could I keep an inventory of all of these things to be mindful of throughout my day? There's just no possible way. And so, yeah, the KISS method, keeping it simple, I'm going to try to work on that. Just in all of the basic little or bigger ways throughout my day. And yeah, definitely just continuing to allow myself to go through whatever experience I'm going through. What was I gonna add? Along with the keeping it simple. I can't remember now, but there was like another thing I was gonna mention that I'm gonna try to do. Yeah, just to sit with myself and let it unravel, really, and continuing to work on feeling grounded, and 555 on the timer. And definitely yesterday, what came through helped with, when you're feeling those triggers, take a look in your metaphorical rear view mirror, and keeping in mind, the things that aren't really there, but are in a sense trying to demand, our energy and our attention, and wanting to follow those same type of cycles. And we can't blame our brain. Our brain runs off of patterns and cycles, and we have to work with ourselves and work on making the process of change to feel better, to feel more positive and creative and uplifting. Otherwise, we're going to resist that change. So yeah, I don't know, guys. It's still been very quite tough. I am working on a new system within the household as well to benefit my mental health. The littlest one, she is going through a lot of changes. She's very smart, very growing, getting new experiences. She's still teething. And so, after doing some further reading on that, I'm understanding that, this is a very vulnerable time for her. And, so she is leaning more heavily into the breastfeeding. And so this is about, comfortability, getting through this season of change, with least resistance. I'm looking at things like dropping projected judgments about like food and dinners and feeding my family, because I can barely step away during the day to feed myself or to do any acts of mental health for myself. So yeah, I'm looking to where do I need to kind of relax the expectations or boundaries, so that I can focus on what's most important, which is like keeping the little one comfortable, keeping myself comfortable, keeping myself sane, getting enough sleep. I won't say an appropriate amount. An appropriate amount is probably 10 to 12 hours uninterrupted a night for me, but yeah, perhaps in the future. So yeah, getting back to the basics, keep it simple. Work on myself day to day. Keeping the line of communication with my partner, very open, very clear, very vulnerable, and sticking with some boundaries with myself as well, because there are plenty times where I can very easily spiral. And so it's also asking my partner too. I asked him yesterday, can you assert boundaries with me when I get into this type of triggered mode, and the type of behaviors that I can start to display, because I don't like being that type of person. I know that in my heart that's not who I am, and he knows that also. But it will definitely help in the moment to yeah, just to help ease that and, bring me back down. And so it's all trial and error, but I wanted to take a break quickly, just kind of check in because, it is heavy and it does feel like the energy of this change and this trial and error. It feels very tumultuous, like I'm being tossed around quite a bit, and, it is tiring. And so I just want to consistently, have an outlet for that. So um, thanks for following along, and we'll be tuning in again real soon. Hope you enjoy your weekend.